Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I am your host, TheEndBoss, and today we're going to be getting a deep dive into the new upcoming Endless Dungeon content known as Torghast, which will be premiering with the World of Warcraft Shadowlands expansion. So let's go ahead and jump right in there and take a look. So one of the first things you're going to notice here is that you have, well, an Endless Dungeon. Inside the Endless Dungeon, as you progress, you're going to be unlocking new abilities, new passive traits, improving your legendary, which we don't really know what it is. As you can see in the video here, I'm picking up placeholder legendary content. So we're not really sure what the finalized items are going to be there. As you progress through the tower, you're going to pick up something called Fantasma, which is basically your experience bar. Now, as you progress, you actually will find NPCs you can spend that Fantasma at to get passive upgrades for your character. Simple things like 5% crit, 5% mastery, 5% haste. They'll help aid you on your progression. Other times, you're going to fight large elite monsters, which are going to have a glowing bubble around them. You can see here, I just popped one off these guys. When you select those, you actually get an ability to choose from. Sometimes it's 1 out of 3, sometimes it's just the 1. Usually they're ranging in quality from green to blue to purple. Those are the only ones I've seen. Such effects are honestly what I think is going to be the most game-breaking part of the Torghast experience. You're going to have abilities that do stuff like, for Mage in particular, you've got one that reduces the cooldown of Frost Nova by 5 minutes. A nice utility, it'll keep you alive, but then you've got ones that are like 20% increased crit damage, and certain classes, would benefit better from that than other classes. Overall, I think it's going to be really heavily range favored. The ability to kite is going to be exquisitely overpowered in these dungeons. On top of that, you have 3 lives, so once you have died, you spawn back at the beginning. The monsters don't come back, treasure chests don't come back, you just go back to the start. You can continue progressing through the tower at whatever rate you want. There seems to be no existing time limit. However, on your 3rd death, there is going to be quite a beast NPC that spawns out that will chase you to the end of the level. So basically, on your 3rd death, you book it to the next level. The difficulties as it now stands are easy, normal, and heroic. Of course, I started on normal, which puts you at about floor number 13. I'm not sure if it actually changes the difficulty that you start at. It just changes the floor that you start on. Now, the big thing for me I wanted to talk about were those upgrades, because those upgrades that you get between common and epic and rare quality, those can completely swing the balance of your run. And again, I feel like range characters are going to get the benefit of the doubt here. Now that's, of course, since we're only able, as of this video's production, we're only able to test Priest, Mage, Warlock, and Demon Hunter. Don't know why they decided to throw in that Demon Hunter to the mix, but right now we've been playing Frost Mage going through the tower, and when I started with the Shadow Priest, it was abysmal. The lack of full-on AoE was very difficult to cope with, the range and everything getting really close up, no real hard CC beyond a fear, which doesn't work well when things are already undead rather. But the general idea is that Torghast is going to be endless, okay? Endless. And the only problem that I have with that right now is just how much of that endless run is going to depend on RNG. From the moment you walk in, you choose one of your special green, blue, or, purple, or otherwise associated powers, and that can completely start your run off on a different foot. You can start off with something like, again, Frost Nova cooldown, 5 seconds, pretty cool, or 20% crit damage for arguably one of the most crit-heavy specs in the game, like Fire. So we are going to see a lot of wild variations in the actual length of these runs, but at the end of the day, I can't even imagine what the group content is going to be like. So that is actually going to be the focus of our next video when we come out here. I'm going to be getting up with 4 more players in the closed alpha here, and we're going to be doing some hardcore dungeon running of Torghast to see what that's going to impact as far as overall group consistency, makeup, because I think it might be something you could put together with 5 DPS, and that's, since it's the PTR, since we're testing this on the alpha, the closed alpha, I think it'd be interesting to see what a 5-man DPS team can burn through this, or if it's really going to need focus for tanks, healers, and a full-on group composition. But make sure you stay in here, get like, subscribe, follow us, stay up to date on all this content, because we are going to be pumping it out as the next couple of days go through. Thank you guys again for tuning in. This is TheEndBoss, signing off.